everybody. Welcome to Live with Dawnmarie here at Dawnmarie Healthy and Fit, where we bring you amazing stories from around the world. We are in the year of 2021. Yay! It's a brand new year for all of us. So this is season 3 of Live with Dawnmarie. If you're not following me now on Spotify and Apple, go out and follow me today and listen to all the incredible stories that I have done over the last year, through everyone from authors to warriors to inspirational motivators to coaches to spiritual guidance. You name it, it is on my podcast. So follow me at Spotify, Live with Dawnmarie, or on Apple. Today's guest, I am so excited. We are honored to have Sally Rawhey. She is the author of the book called There. It's a beautiful poetry book, and her words are so inspirational. So she is going to be joining us really soon. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. I'm really excited about this podcast today. Sally has also been a journalist. She has been in magazines, television programs, writing songs, and now she is writing her beautiful work in poetry. So let's see where Sally is and bring her on board. Hold on one second. Here we go. I sent Sally the request to come on live with us and talk to us about her. Welcome, Sally. So nice to
Hello
meet
there.
you. How are you?
Hello there, everyone.
All
So
right.
honored to be with you tonight.
We are so honored to have you today and to talk about your journeys, your life, your inspiration, to talk about the book There, and also your other book that I am waiting for because it has sold out and I'm on the wait list, The Unspoken Voices.
Right here.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So I have so many questions for you, but first I would love for you to tell our audience a little bit about your background. When we spoke yesterday, you talked about your journalism and you talked about just packing a bag and moving and taking on adventures of the world, and you have done all of it. So give us a little bit of your version of that story.
Okay, thank you very much, Dawnmarie. That's really an honor to be with you here tonight.
Thank you.
Well, I've had a long journey, and I'm that girl who's not scared to change things, to move from one spot to another. And I have fell in love with poetry ever since I was a kid, but that was not really the road that I thought I would take.
Mm-hmm.
So I started first as a director, and I'm really into any creative work. So the first thing was to go into promotions and advertising and all that. And the passion of finding a new idea is always a strong drive for me. It kind of makes me unstoppable. So I pursued advertising and television. And later on, actually when I turned 40, I felt like writing was pulling me in, you know. I was being attracted like a magnet to writing. And it all happened after I read a book by the name of The 40 Rules of Love.
Oh.
And The 40 Rules of Love by Al-Shafi.
Mm-hmm.
That book really made me feel like I have to pursue writing because I have this talent. And I live in Egypt, so with someone who doesn't really live in a country that writes in that language, English, I had to travel and see whether my stuff was worth publishing or not. And I left behind my work, I left everything, my family, my kids, and I went to London. I joined any stand-up event I could join, any open mic poetry events I could join, and I read my poetry everywhere I could read it, until I found a publisher who was interested in my stuff, and that's when I felt like I have something valuable enough. You know, it gave me the confidence to pursue that career that all my heart said I should be pursuing. So I did it, and I was very fortunate to have my first book accepted and then the other by Olympia Publishers in the UK. And now they're selling all over the world.
I know, it's amazing. And I got to tell you, it's beautiful. I sat at the ocean yesterday myself reading your poetry, and it's just so incredibly inspiring. It goes from short poetry to longer pieces of poetry, but it truly speaks to your heart and your soul, and it makes you want to be a part of your life and like sit next to you in a cafe and talk to you more about where you come up with such amazing work. So I'm truly honored that you are here with us today. And
Thank you so much,
what
Dawnmarie.
an incredible adventure you have had. And I love that you said you're unstoppable, that you know that you want to go and get it done, and you did it. You
Yeah,
didn't let life stop you. And you just went out there and did it until you got the publisher and you made it happen. And I will be forever grateful that I've got a copy of your book here, and I can't wait for the next one to come in.
thank
So
you.
the books are available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, any book network all around the world,
Yes,
correct?
yes, as well as the bookstores in the UK. They have them on sale.
Yes. And they can also go to your website on your
Definitely.
Instagram
Yes,
and go straight from there to order the books.
definitely.
Yes. Okay. I've got some questions for you that I'd love to ask. And this goes back to like your journalism, your writing career, your script writing, your ads, your commercials, all of that. What is the one thing that you know that you had known before you began your career that you wish you had known today? Like sorry, I said that a little bit backwards. The one thing that you wish you had known before you started your career.
Well, actually, I think that my career and this journey that I've had is the fun that I've had in my life. I wouldn't want to do something, well, I would love to travel more, but I did actually travel as well while I was doing my journey of writing and of directing and of being a creative director in a commercial center. So work is quite integrated in the being of me, what I am and who I am. And I believe that I'm made to be productive and to inspire others and inspire myself and have something, some form of beauty produced by myself that would bring happiness somehow to people. So I can't imagine myself not working. I've been working since I was 14, back at the
Wow.
university. And
Mm-hmm.
I I believe that you can do anything and you can learn anything while you're just enjoying yourself. They
That's
don't
very true.
contradict with each other. So
So
I
true.
think I did everything I want. There's nothing that I would rather do other than be working what I love. You see, I have a kind of a philosophy about it that we're born with what we love. We have this seed inside us. And once we discover what we truly love, what our passion is, this is when we become really happy and this is when we become productive because God placed it in our heart. We just have to find it. It's right there. Once we find it and we hold it, then we are happy people. Okay, we
That's
carry
so
our
true.
sadness along and all that, but we do move with what we have.
That is so true. Thank you for that. That was so inspiring. And you're right. We are all born with the seed of what will nurture us and move us forward in life with what we have been given. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's a little bit hard to find that seed, and it takes you a little bit longer to get to that journey. But as long as you're true to yourself, like you were, and you continue to move forward and work hard, you have now become a huge inspiration to the world through your poetry and also through everything you did prior to becoming an author. With your ads and the journalism and traveling the world and meeting people all over. So it's just, you have a beautiful gift, and I'm honored to say that I've been able to read it,
Thank you. The honor is
that
all.
we have you here with us today. And What advice would you give to a new author like yourself back then when you were like, I'm not sure if my work is good enough, but you knew it was good enough. You just wanted to hear it from everybody else. So, with that question, how would you advise a young author moving forward?
I would tell them, listen, there are people who are flying without wings, and there are people who are chained without chains. Be a dreamer, be someone among those who are flying. Let your soul speak, let it rule. Let it be yourself. Nothing defines you but your real core. Not your success, not your wishes, not your faults, nothing. Just be yourself. Don't be scared to voice what you have. You can even copy other styles of other people. There's no problem in finding your shades, in finding your colors. They come, but let go. Don't be afraid to just make mistakes. Don't be afraid to judge, to adventure with yourself, okay? Because
That's
you
great.
have it inside you. If you are a writer, you have it. Actually, I believe that everybody is a writer somehow, and everybody is a poet somehow. We just visit poetry and writing at different stages of our life. Like some people would visit writing when they're happy, or when they're sad, or when they're in an adventure. But we all have that, the power of writing and expressing our feelings. So someone who's pursuing writing for a career, just let go. Let go. You have such a strong weapon. You can change the world. You can actually alter with what you write so many people's lives. And if we think about how poetry and writing in general has affected lives and changed the world, even revolutions, they're colored with the shades of poetry. I mean, it is
Exactly.
part of everything, and it's such a powerful tool. We can even claim the one of the greatest speeches in history, that of Dr. Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream, is actually a poem, is a piece of writing so beautiful, so compassionate, so moving, and it can change a lot.
That is so true. And thank you for honoring him and bringing up his name. Thank you for
Definitely.
that. So that is amazing advice to anybody getting out of college, anyone that isn't sure they want to go to college, anyone that just has always been a writer of writing things down, good or bad, writing fictional stories to writing your true autobiography to anything in life. Never give up. Keep
Mm,
following your dream. And that's what you've done. That's
def-
great advice. Thank you so much. Um, who are the people that have been in your life that have been the most influential to you?
Well, there are actually quite a lot. I've been very lucky with that. I would definitely start with my family. I come from a very, very loving, very attached family, so I've had quite a beautiful childhood. I saw an example of my mother, an example of a very courageous person who was so eager to move us around, and not to be scared to try out the best options that we could possibly have. And a father who was very loving and showering with love, a brother, a husband, my kids. So I'm reading my family is a big source of love and care, and I'm very lucky to have that. But also during my career, I've met a lot of people who affected my life and influenced it very positively. As my
Mhm.
boss, Mr. Milad Beseda, he was like a father figure, and someone who saw me as a creative person even before I realized that in myself. He gave me so much confidence and so much believed in me, really. So I think that he really shaped a lot of my life. And then after that, I also happened to work with my uncle, and he was such a successful businessman, so
Mhm.
adored, so glamorous. And I think also being adventurous was part of him, and I really admired that. That gave me a lot of lessons the time that I was very fortunate to work with him.
Yes, and that's probably why you became such an adventurous person yourself and traveling the
Yeah, I
world
am.
and deciding to just take the leap of faith and fly and do all the incredible things you've done in your life. I love that. So you've had a really strong bond with your family and your loved ones, and you've learned and moved forward in your life, and you cherish those moments, and that's a beautiful
Very much so.
blessing. Yes,
Very
it's
much so.
beautiful. What would you say, people saying, you're an author, what are you an author of? And you would say poetry, and I've also done all of my work. The common question that is asked, what would you debunk about people saying, oh, you're a poet? Everybody's a poet. So tell me why you chose poetry.
Poetry is like grasping your feelings and taking them into putting them inside a frame and reliving them again and again and again. Nothing can reflect how people feel more than poetry, in my opinion. And the simplicity and the ease of putting light on people and the beauty inside them or a beauty of a situation is just magical with a poem. Nothing is as strong as that. It's such a strong a device if you want to actually translate feelings.
Yes.
And I'm quite a good observer, and I believe I'm a collector of people's feelings. I watch, especially kind, compassionate people. You know, if you watch kind, compassionate people, you feel like they're like these scattered leaves around them, and you just like pick the leaves of beauty that they have around them, and you capture that into moments and into words, and it's like creating magic.
That was beautiful. I love the phrase of how you spoke about the leaves. They're beautiful, but they've fallen and you've captured them and you hold them dear. And that's how you embrace your poetry and move forward. And I believe that with that being said, anyone watching this interview or hearing this podcast will really start to look at life differently and realize it's all around us. It's the beauty of the person sitting in a cafe. It's the beauty of the music playing as you're walking down the street, or a child giggling and laughing. It truly is. We are living in a world of poetry. It just takes that person to take all of those aspects, like you did, and put it into words and turn it into a book for all of us to read.
Indeed.
So beautiful. So, so beautiful. What advice would you give to somebody in another country that has never met you, that is very unsure of what career path that they would want to take?
Sorry, can you repeat that? Sorry.
To be, I can. What advice would you give to a young person coming out of college or university that is very unsure of what they want to do in life? Like, they have a lot of adventures they want to do, they have a lot of things they want to accomplish, but they don't know where to start. Your journey was incredible. You just took the leap of faith. How would you advise a young 20-year-old today, in the world that we live in today, on what to focus on to move forward?
I would tell them, listen to your heart. The one thing that comes in your mind and you feel your just go with it. If you feel like you want to travel, then that's the thing for you now. If you feel you want to stay home and do nothing, that's still the thing for you now. Just follow the sound of your heart because it is speaking to you. We just don't listen. We have it all inside us. If we just listen, we will see what we really want to do. We shouldn't listen to other people who tell us that you better do this or better do that. That's not it. Walk with yourself. Let me say a little poem that may kind of explain what I would like
I
to
would love
say.
that. Please.
Because that is me when in the beginning of my life, when I didn't know what to do and I didn't really have a path. but I wanted to be focused on where I should be moving. I sat with myself and tried to find out my passion. In the distance of warmth, I have befriended my own self. We have secretly laughed and walked and talked down colorful woods, and we have shared stories of people and places that we want to live in. And we have gone along to where our future will be.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. And that's the perfect answer to anybody coming out of university, anybody coming out of college, anybody, in young grade school. That is the perfect answer. It's a beautiful poem. Thank you for
The
sharing that.
answer is right inside you. You just listen to your heart. Whatever you choose with your heart is what is meant for you, because God placed it inside there. Just listen.
So true. Amen to that. So, so true. Okay. Who do you most admire in your life? I know you probably admire like many, but if you had to narrow it down to just one, who do you most admire?
Well, I admire Shams Tabrizi, and he's the one who actually taught Rumi all what he knows, the great philosopher Rumi. And he was moving around from country to country, trying to find the secrets of life. And his book and his sayings and what he taught Rumi was incredible. I believe that when you search for yourself and you move on to that other realm of yourself where you are not defined by what you are or your features or your being or your posts or your successes, when you're actually just your true core self, then you reach a bond with the divine power that moves you to another sphere altogether. It's like acceptance of yourself and love of yourself that is incredible to achieve without this bond, this divine bond. So Shams is an example of all that to me. I'm greatly, greatly moved by him.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Well, you truly are a living soul of beauty, strength, passion, and moving forward in your life with your writing, your words, just listening to you speak. It just rings music. It rings quietness. It rings embrace and warmth, and just feels like your words are wrapping around us like a blanket when we're cold or we're feeling alone. Your
That's so
words
kind of you.
are so inspiring. So once again, thank you for honoring us today.
Thank you, dear. The honor's mine.
So we just shared one of your favorite persons that you most admire. What would be, I know he wrote the book, but if there was a book you could choose from any of your travels around the world that you picked up one day and you looked at it, what would that book be?
I'm in love with that book by Rupi Kaur, The Sun and Her Flowers. That's
Oh,
a favorite of mine. I've read it a million times.
The Sun and the Flowers.
The Sun and Her Flowers.
Beautiful. So
It's an
what about
incredible,
that book made you want to read it over and over and over again?
because it has the two sides of everything, the good and the bad, the pain and the happiness, the success and the failure. It has the two sides, and you feel like you can choose between those. Do you want to fit here or do you want to fit there? And you can see that the poet, the author, she went through all that, but she managed to be at the side of happiness at the end. So it teaches me, I don't really have to go through all that pain. I don't have to carry it along, but I can choose happiness. I can choose peace. I can choose love. I can choose people who are kind and compassionate
Yes.
and go after them
It's
and be of
beautiful.
their clan.
I love that you just said that, to be of their clan. I
Yeah.
love that. Yes. I haven't heard that word in so long. You
Because
know,
the universe listens, you know. When you
it
want to
does.
be of their clan, you feel that God starts sending them over and the circle of kindness grows bigger. I'm so full of faults, but then when you reach out to people who are actually embracing kindness and compassion and love, that these are the core. This is why we're here. We're here to spread this beauty. We're not here to hurt or to dwell on our sadness and take it with us and color other people's faces with it. That's not it. We often fall in that. A lot of times we are that, but we have to strip it out, get out of it
That is
somehow.
so true. And a lot of us have a hard time letting go. And we hold on to the past. And I like that you called it the colors. And the colors get thrown onto your face. So when people hold on to that heartache and that pain, it doesn't mean you have to hold on to it forever. You've already lived it. Learn from it and then move forward, but don't throw it onto somebody else. I
It's
love
not
that
yours.
you said that. That was beautiful once again. Very beautiful. And I love that you wrote that you just said, don't throw the bad colors onto someone else. That is a
Can I?
beautiful
I have a
phrase.
poem that I would like to share about that.
I would love for you to read that for us, please.
That's how I see love, how God made it. It's called Love's Recipe. He made it with a recipe of magic and wonder, and spiced it with dreams, euphoria, and a strike just like thunder. Then he named it love, and blessed all his creations with its splendor. But he did not teach the birds to love the fluff of their wings across the skies. He didn't teach the petals to lovingly greet the dew before sunrise. He didn't teach the heart to love blindly without eyes, for he who created love created it for the mindless and the wise.
Oh, that just gave me chills. I literally have like chills on my arm. It just that that is words from the heart, from God, from your soul, from the universe. So beautiful.
Thank you.
Is
Yeah.
that poem in the book there, or is it in your new book,
Actually, that's in the first book, The Unspoken Voices.
Unspoken Voices? I can't wait till I get that poetry book. That was beautiful. Oh my goodness. I think I could listen to you all day reading poetry to us.
Thank you.
Where is the one place in the world that you have been able to travel, because you have been everywhere in the world? Where was the one place that you felt the most raw inspiration the moment you arrived, and when you left, you felt like you were leaving a piece of you behind? Where would that location be?
Well, I'm a big fan of the French Riviera, but
It's beautiful there.
actually, yeah, very much so. But actually, if you just give me a spot in the sea, I have everything I need. I don't need more. Just to see any spot anywhere in the world, and I've got everything I need.
Ah, I love that. Oh my goodness. The ocean. So the ocean is
Yeah.
your peaceful place.
Yes, very
I
much.
love the ocean, and I go there often when I really need time for myself and time
Yeah,
to think and analyze where I want to move forward and what I need to learn from the past, but leaving it there and nurturing it and going further into my days and my life and people around me. There's just something about that ocean wave that just kind
yeah,
of flows, and it comes in and it braces us, and it captures a piece of us and brings it back out and cleanses us, and then comes back
exactly.
in and flows over us. The ocean is so magnificent and so beautiful and so raw, but so strong and dangerous at the same time.
Yes, it has
And
both sides.
it has all the sides of what the human being is and what we face in the world. And it's the one thing that connects all of us
True.
in the universe. The water doesn't end. No matter where you are, there is a magical piece of water somewhere near you that is connected underground or above by the oceans that connect every single human being. And I love that you said that that is your comfort place. Beautiful. So beautiful. What do you believe is one of your strongest qualities? I believe you're a go-getter and you're not going to ever stop. But if you had to give me one quality, what would that be?
Well, that's difficult for me to decide. I guess it's easier for people around me to say that, but I would love to be compassionate. I hope
You
that would
are,
be,
yeah.
I hope that would be my best quality. I hope, not sure if I've got that, but I would love to possess that very much.
That's beautiful. Yes, compassionate is definitely you. I believe that.
Thank you.
Definitely. And if you had any fears in your life from a child or growing up or the uncertainty of life, what would that one fear be and how would you recognize it today and vanish it?
My biggest fear actually is losing the people I love.
Oh,
And that's the kind of the nightmare that kind of makes life tough for me sometimes. But I found that the closer I come to God and to that state of peace, the more that I'm confident that whatever is going to happen is just happening for our best, and that God would only bring what's good for all of us, whatever that's going to be. So it's basically having more confidence in everything that's going to happen, that it's God's will and let it be. It's going to be for the best. So you learn to let go and you learn to love the people you have around you for that time that you have them with you. Because at the end, we all don't belong to ourselves. We just are here for some time, and we just love each other and try to be the best for each other that we can be.
that was beautiful. Thank you. Oh, I swear, I wish I could call you every single day and just talk with you. And
That's so
you're just
nice
a
of you.
true, beautiful inspiration. Okay, strongest quality of a human being that you look at when you encounter somebody new. Like you go to meet somebody that you've never met before in your life and you're in a cafe. What do you look for in that person that you value?
A real person. I value a real person, someone who's not so eager to impress, someone who is simple and true and full of faults and just is.
That's
Someone
beautiful.
who's not playing perfect because there's no perfection for us. Someone who is willing to bring happiness along and not scared of showing their true colors.
I love that. Beautiful. Thank you. And it is true because we all are afraid of something in our life. For you, it's losing a loved one. For most of us, I believe it's losing our loved ones that we fear the most. And I believe that some of us, I would say at least 90% of the world has that number one facade and is afraid to open up and expose the things that have happened and learn and embrace it. And I agree with you. It truly is a gift that when you know that there is no perfect.
Yeah,
If there was perfect, there would be nothing to strive for in life,
exactly.
right? And, you know, we're all born into this world for a time, a place, and a reason. And we are guided through those paths of life as our individual life. And we come across thousands of people in a year, in a day, depending on where you are in the world. I remember when I was traveling overseas for the entire summer, Robert and I, my husband and my daughter and a friend of hers, we were traveling, and I loved sitting in the cafes, and I loved engaging and listening to their accents and their different languages and communicating and watching how they would observe, because I was doing the same thing. And it's a magical thing that you are inspired by. And sometimes you could watch, and I remember seeing, and let me know if you've ever come across this. I remember seeing this older woman, probably in her 60s, maybe 70s, but very well put together, sitting in a cafe with a cup of tea and a little biscuit. And she was writing. And I thought, I wonder what she's writing. And I kept looking up, and she got my attention. She got my attention. She caught my eye because she knew, like, she could feel the energy. And I just smiled at her, and she nodded her head, and then she continued writing. And as I was leaving, I said, "Have a beautiful day." And she actually spoke English, and she said, "Thank you." I said, "I hope you enjoy what you've been writing all day." And she goes, "Magic."
Wow.
So she was just sitting quietly and just observing and watching the people. And I think that is a gift that we are all too busy with today's world. We rush, we run, we get in the car, we are in a hurry, and we forget to stop and look at nature, look at the beauty, read a book, listen to somebody, eavesdrop on a conversation. What are they talking about? And it's so great to also walk up to a complete stranger and tell them exactly what you're feeling when you walk by. You can feel the energy of
Yeah,
people,
definitely.
like when you walk by and you see someone and they look gorgeous and they're radiant. I always say, "Oh my God, you look beautiful today." And we need to be more compassionate and more moving forward and not worried about what other people think of us. It's what we feel about life and moving forward with people in front of us and that we engage with.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Wow. Could you please read us another one of your favorite poems?
Oh, sure.
And where do you love to write? Where is your most inspirational spot that you write in?
I write all the time, everywhere. I could be climbing the stairs and I stop and I'm writing. I could be driving and I stop by the side and I write. I write all the time. The words just keep flowing all the time. So I don't mind the place or the space or wherever. I'm just writing all the time.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Okay.
Okay. This one is called We Carry the Traces. We carry the traces of uncountable happy memories, the scars of numerous betrayals, the glow of 1,000 sunrises, the warmth of parents' embraces. We carry the traces of tons of heartfelt conversations, the times we fought our way out of meaningless negotiations, the battles of fear to keep alive dead relationships, the childhood friends who stumbled on our shoelaces, the hearts we loved of different races. We carry the traces of every full moon that witnessed our changing phases, of every butterfly that dazzled with its colors our gazes, of cold nights cuddled up before warm fireplaces, of colorful springs and roses-filled vases. We carry the traces, the constant nostalgia to our birthplaces, every souvenir we packed in our suitcases, every moment of success tasted in different workplaces, every loss of a loved one and their deserted spaces. The miracle of life as our newborn embraces, we carry the traces. God carved his love on our faces, but a wicked heart scratches and erases, and a kind soul lights up the darkest of places. God granted us all his love traces, but it's us who choose our true faces.
Oh, okay. That was even so incredibly relatable to anyone that is going to listen to this podcast, watch this live interview. That it was the most magical, beautiful poem ever.
Thank you.
And I have read a lot of poetry, but that one describes the entire world with
Thank you.
grace. Thank you so much. So beautiful. So, so beautiful. Okay, now I want to ask you some fun questions. If you could hop on a plane today, where would you go?
Italy.
Italy. Okay, so where in Italy? Because Italy is vast. So where would that one location be?
I would still choose Rome. I love Rome.
Mm-hmm. It is beautiful. We were there, and that was our last stop on our trip, and it was
Oh,
so incredible and so many things to see. And you could spend a year there and still not see all
true.
of its beauty. Yeah. Where would be the one restaurant that you have eaten at over the years of your lifetime that you would want to go back, visit that chef again if you could, and experience those memories and that taste? Where would that location be?
But there's that time I was with my family in Monte Carlo, and that restaurant was called Le Pirate, and it was
Oh,
such an amazing restaurant that I had not seen anything as beautiful as that. I always remember that place, and I was
I
there
wonder
as a
if
child.
it's still
I
there.
would love to go back there and see the place again. It has beautiful memories of that day.
Oh, I love that. What is the most famous place other than Rome that you have visited that has a monument that you think is so beautiful that you could write an entire book of poetry about?
Well, in my opinion, there's nothing more beautiful than our pyramids. And
All
I
of
live
them.
right in front of the pyramids. I see the pyramids every day. And there's nothing as grand as the pyramids, in my opinion.
Wow. So maybe your third book will be something about the pyramids.
Yeah, maybe, perhaps.
What is your favorite treat in the world that you have next to you when you're writing? If you're sitting down and you're writing, that you want to order as you're writing, your favorite, like the one treat that you crave?
Mangoes.
Mangoes. Oh my goodness. Okay, you
Crazy about
surprised me with that one. I love that. Oh my goodness. I love that. Okay, so if you could sit down with your children and say to them, do you think you want to be a poet? What do you think they would say?
I don't think they would like to be posts. No, no, that's not.
No.
No. Actually, my younger son can write a bit of poetry,
Okay.
but I don't see him as a poet. No.
Okay. All right. So where do you see them in the future? Because they're going to be leaving you soon to go off
Yeah,
to
yeah.
college.
I see my elder son, Mamdouh, he's going to be really into technology and computers and stuff like that.
Mhm.
He's really clever with that. It's his passion. And
Perfect.
my younger son, he's going to be a very well-known businessman. He
Great.
feels like a businessman ever since he was 4, so I think he's going to be very successful. He wants to be grand. He sees himself grand.
I love that. I love that they're so young and they already have that passion of where they want to go in life. That's beautiful. So, what would be the one thing that your mom said to you growing up that still rings to dear to your heart every day? It was there like a phrase she would say to you?
Well, I was such a failure back at school, and my
Well,
grades
no,
were and
nobody's a failure. No one's a
well,
failure.
well,
We may have a little struggles at school, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, my grades were really bad, okay, but she saw me as a very clever person, okay, and she saw my potential, and she knew I had a lot in me, okay. My school grades were not saying that, but she knew I could be in the best schools and in the best universities and excel. And that's exactly what I did. When I picked what I like, when I moved on to university and studied writing and journalism, I excelled. So she believed in me all along, even though school didn't, but she knew that school was not a reflection of what I am. And she gave me all the chances to be able to join the university that I want and to find myself there
I
and
love that.
actually succeed in what I love.
And you're doing it.
Yes,
You're
very much
doing
so.
it. So tell mom, thank you very much
I'm very
for
grateful indeed.
inspiring. Yes. So now I'm going to ask you a question about your dad. What was the one thing your dad always said to you that you hold dear to your heart and has gotten you through your years of life and where you are today?
My father saw me as like the fallen angel. To him, I was super bionic in every way. And the most beautiful, the most talented, the most creative, the most everything. There was no one like me to him. And he showered me with so much love that when he passed away, I had friends telling me that you got your share of love in the world. You should be grateful. If you don't take more, you've got enough. Because I was like, I was his princess. That was the word. And I still connect with him very much. He's been gone for over 20 years, and there's not a single day in my life that passed without me thinking of him, without me praying for him. And I feel that he sent me so many people to love. And I believe that the good people I've met in my life were a reflection of him. It was
Oh,
his eyes in their eyes looking at me. Every good word or every compliment I actually received in my life, I felt was sent to me somehow from him. And the bond never faded. It's always there until we meet again.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. That was
It's my honor.
truly, thank you. So, so beautiful. What would you like to leave our audience with? Another poem, inspiration? What would you like to tell us?
I would just want to tell them that be dreamers and think big, because you can achieve anything you want to achieve. You can learn anything you want to learn. You can be whoever you want to be. Not because people are going to do it for you, because you are going to do it for yourself, just for yourself, because you are that powerful and you are that capable and you are that gifted. We are just precious gifts that God placed on earth to do so much good. Do not let your life pass by without doing the good that you have to do, and without enjoying and without rejoicing and without being happy, a happy person, because you are here for that. Be a dreamer. I
That is
would just
beautiful.
read that. A dreamer has a heart that never grows. No wrinkles will ever carve his rose. Youth will always shine behind the white hair and forgetful mind. So be a dreamer. Thank you.
Oh, That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Sally Rawhey. It was such an incredible inspiration to have you on for my very first podcast coming back in the brand new year of 2021 and season 3, episode 1. And everyone that has come on to see halfway through, don't worry, you can watch the entire interview over and over again here at Dawnmarie Healthy and Fit on my IGTV, or you can listen to the beautiful interview on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Follow me there today. And to get Sally's books, you can get them all over the world. Easiest price, probably Amazon. They are there. She has the Unspoken Voices and the book there. And if you loved listening to her voices today, follow her on her Instagram, purchase her books, and feel her love through the reading and the grace that she has given us through the word of God and love and family. It was truly an
Thank you so
honor
much.
to have you.
Honor is all mine. Thank you so much. That was great. Thank you. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So when I get your first book, The Unspoken Voices, I'm going to read it super fast, and if you don't mind, I would love to have you back on again and talk to us about that book as well and how you wrote it and your favorite poetry from there.
Oh, I'd love that. My pleasure.
Thank you so
very
much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I know it's very late there, and you're probably tired and ready to go to bed. But I have to say, you blessed my day today for coming on and sharing your wisdom, sharing your beauty and your grace with the world today. Thank you.
Pleasure of mine. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. Once again, follow Sally on her Instagram. Buy her books. It's on the feed in my stories. The first book is The Unspoken Voices, and her second book is there. I will connect through her Instagram feed, so you can start following her, purchase her books, send her comments and letters, and show her how much you love her. And today, moving forward in the brand new year of 2021, happy Tuesday, and I will see you again on Thursday, live with Dawnmarie. And please follow me on Spotify or Apple Podcast. I look forward to seeing you guys soon and bringing you more incredible stories from around the world. Have a fabulous one.